Across the vast expanse of the cosmos, three empires stand poised for war. The Borg Collective, a relentless tide of cybernetic organisms driven by the cold logic of assimilation. The Church of the Broken God, disciples of a shattered deity seeking to rebuild their God in the image of flesh and machine. And the Adeptus Mechanicus, the tech priests of Mars, worshipping the machine god through the clang of forges and the thrum of ancient engines. These factions, each with their own ambitions and ruthlessness, represent a terrifying convergence of technology and faith. The clash between them promises a conflict of unimaginable scale, where the fate of entire civilizations hangs in the balance. A conflict where the lines between flesh and metal, faith and fanaticism blur into a nightmarish reflection of our own darkest impulses. The question is not if these titans will clash, but when. And when they do, the very fabric of reality itself may tremble before the sheer destructive force unleashed. The Borg are a force of nature, a relentless swarm consuming all in its path. They are driven by a single directive to achieve perfection through the forced assimilation of all organic and technological distinctiveness. Resistance is futile, they proclaim, their metallic voices echoing with cold certainty.
Resistance is futile.
The Church of the Broken God is a different kind of beast altogether. Their devotion is not to order but to a shattered deity they believe will one day rise again. They see the flesh as weak, the machine as pure, and strive for a twisted apotheosis through a fusion of both. Their methods are brutal, their rituals macabre, their faith unshakable.
The flesh is weak, the machine is pure.
And then there are the tech priests of Mars, the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are the custodians of forgotten technologies, worshipping the machine god through the whirring gears and humming circuits of their creations. Their faith is absolute, their knowledge vast, their weapons capable of shattering mountains and cracking planets.
For the glory of the Omnissiah.
Each faction in its own twisted way represents a perversion of progress. The Borg, with their cold, unfeeling efficiency, the Church of the Broken God, with their grotesque fusion of flesh and steel, and the Adeptus Mechanicus, with their blind faith in the cold logic of the machine. Their inevitable clash promises to be a battle for the soul of the galaxy itself. The Borg, with their single-minded pursuit of assimilation, represent a threat to all organic life. The Church of the Broken God, despite their own twisted nature, recognize this danger. To them, the Borg represent the antithesis of their own beliefs, a sterile uniformity that must be purged. The Adeptus Mechanicus, too, see the Borg as anathema. The Borg's casual disregard for ancient technology, their willingness to dismantle and repurpose without understanding, is an affront to everything the tech priests hold sacred. The very thought of their sacred machines being subsumed into the cold, unfeeling collective sends shivers down their augmented spines.
The sacred machines must not fall to the Borg.
Thus an unlikely alliance is forged. The Church of the Broken God, with their fervent zeal and knowledge of forbidden technologies, and the Adeptus Mechanicus, with their mastery of war machines and unwavering faith in the machine god, find common ground in their shared hatred of the Borg. It is an alliance born of necessity, a pact with the devil himself, but one that may be the only hope for survival against the coming storm.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
In this case, the enemy of their enemy is a heartless, unfeeling swarm that would consume the galaxy whole. The first encounter is a symphony of destruction, a ballet of blades and beams. The Borg cube, a monolithic testament to cold efficiency, descends upon an unsuspecting world, its tractor beams pulling ships from orbit with contemptuous ease. But this time, resistance awaits. From the depths of the void, a fleet of Adeptus Mechanicus warships emerges, their hulls bristling with weapons that have laid waste to entire star systems. Macro cannons roar, spewing lances of superheated energy that scorch the cube's shields. Torpedoes laden with cyclonic charges detonate, tearing at the cube's armor.
Reports are coming in of a massive battle in the Outer Rim. Adeptus Mechanicus warships have engaged a Borg cube.
On the ground, the Church of the Broken God unleashes its own brand of mayhem. Cyborgs, their bodies fused with metal and bone, charge into the fray, their flesh augmented with blades and guns. They fight with the fury of fanatics, their bodies grotesquely enhanced by their twisted faith. The Borg, initially caught off guard, adapt with terrifying speed. Drones swarm from the cube, their weapons spitting emerald fire. But the combined might of the Church and the Mechanicus is relentless. Explosions rock the battlefield, the air thick with the stench of ozone and burning flesh.
It's chaos out here. The sky is filled with fire and metal.
The battle rages for days, a brutal, grinding war of attrition. But the longer it lasts, the more desperate the Borg become. Their tactical minds, so accustomed to swift and decisive victories, struggle to comprehend the sheer ferocity of their opponents. This is not the calculated resistance they are used to, but a maelstrom of faith and fury that threatens to consume them entirely.